Oh, no. I knew that when this show was set in the 90s, that we were gonna get amazing 90s alternative specifically. I mean, the music that was featured on the show so far is just perfection. And now, the beginnings, the song that's playing is the Cranberries. Y'all. Ooh, I love this. As Nat is walking back, and you start the song. Oh my god, this is why I'm obsessed with the 90s, you know. So many reasons, but this is one of the reasons. Alternative music from the 90s is unbeatable. Alternative rock music from the 90s is unbeatable. Okay? Oh my god, as Nat is walking back, dazed and confused, and just shocked and all the things, you're playing the Cranberries Zombie. How fitting. Oh no. Oh no. Oh Travis. Oh Jesus. He says Natalie. How do you? I already crying. Wow. Another Helen slowly. Child is slowly taken, and the violence caused silence. Who are we mistaken? What's in your head? Zombie, oh. Yo, this song, the Cranberries just in general, okay? This freaking song is so fitting after how episode 8 ended. Wow, this show is, oh god, this song is so perfect. As they're walking back with Javi on the log, whatever, like it's about to be roasted, like when you have an animal tied up. Stress. The music that's playing right now is like, it's making it even more emotional because of the music that's playing. He is shocked. Oh god. Already, let me tell you something. Already, and I said this in episode 7, this show should be sweeping award season. Every single Golden Globes, Emmys, Critics' Choice Award, they should be sweeping. I know that Succession is ending this Sunday, and this show is ending today. But no. Succession is ending completely this Sunday, and then this show is ending this season today. And so I think Succession is going to probably get a lot of that attention. But more than one show has been killing it to me. Both Succession and Yellowjackets has been killing it. Okay? Dominating. And it really should be this show or that. This show or Succession. This show. Like, both of them should be. Because I know Succession is going to come in and get that. But this show should be getting. I already know the performances that are going to happen in this episode. Unbeatable already. The actress that plays Nat I'm feeling all the emotions. And then the song doesn't help. Playing the Cranberries Zombie does not help, because this scene is even more powerful when you play that song. The lyrics literally fit how the scene is playing out. Child is slowly taken. Javi gets taken. It's not me. It's not my family. Oh my god. Poetic. This is very poetic. We're back in 2021. Let me just take a little bit of a minute. I keep saying this, give me a minute, but it requires it to be so. What's her name? I forgot the solution that Lottie says is in it. I'll write it on the screen later. And she said it's quick and painless. So what, do you die? Just you immediately die? And why is that the thing that's what the wilderness wants? We have right now the core 6 that have survived. So the wilderness is coming back for you 25 years later, telling you that one of you need to die. And so that means that y'all are going to keep dying until there's nobody left. Is that the purpose of, I don't understand that part of it. What is the purpose of that? 25 years later, so the whole 25 years went by. The wilderness did not need y'all for nothing. I'm trying to understand the premise. I'm trying to understand the concept. 25 years went by. They all lived their lives. The wilderness did not come for them. And the wilderness is here now at their doorstep wanting a death. it has to be one of the 6. Why? Why? I can understand if they probably went back to the scene of the crime, like celebrate an anniversary. And yes, they did take it with them, but I don't know. That part of is kind of like, why one of the core 6 has to die is my question. That's only my question. Why? Okay, and Lottie was about to drink and they all stop her. Aha! Shauna says, if we want to give it what it's asking for, we should do it the way we used to. We should give it a hunt. Y'all, on a big age of 40, you're gonna hunt somebody? Is that what you're telling me, guys? You're gonna hunt somebody? Okay. It's still in us. Yes, it is. I guess it is in you. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I see. Because, okay, so Shauna says it's agreeing with Lottie. Lottie gets up and hugs her. And everybody's looking at Shauna like, you can't be serious. What? Shauna says we need to give it what it wants, a hunt. And Lottie's like so ecstatic and relieved. And she's like, yes, thank you. You understand. You get me, right? And but then Shauna looks to everybody with Lottie's back turned. She's looking at everybody like, don't worry about it. We're not gonna do that. Her eyes say something completely different. Because to be honest here, it's been 25 years. You all have lived your lives. You're not in the wilderness right now. Why? There's no need to do anything. There's no need. They're going along to what's the phrase? To appease Lottie. So what is the plan? Are they trying to prolong this so that they don't? I'm confused. And then Ty chimes in like, yeah, sure. Misty chimes in like, yeah, we gotta make masks and all these things. And I'm just like, they're not really serious about this. Tonight. Why are you humoring her? Not appeasing. Humoring. I guess it's the same word. I guess the same thing, same meaning. Why Nat says, why are you humoring her? She's homicidal. Or suicidal, homicidal. I just bought some time to figure out what to do with her. You're welcome. Because I'm like, how are they just accepting? Why? Lottie is unraveling. I mean, she looks all put together but she's not. Okay. And they're discussing how they're gonna, like, they buy some time. How are they gonna humor her long enough for them to figure out what to do? She wanted us to play Russian roulette with poison fucking Ulan. We can't just hospitalize her and call it a day, Nat says. And then them talking about eating people, it takes a lot to get used to, because I'm just not used to hearing that dialogue happen so often. Listen, they're starving. And I need to remind people again. Starving. When we saw them in season 1, even before the plane crash, their innocence is gone, guys. It's gone, girl. It's gone. Their innocence is gone. It's been months upon months. Nobody's looking for them at this point. It's winter. All the animals they're either hibernating, or there's no animals around. They need protein. And I had said this in episode 7. I am giving grace to everybody, but I'm still gonna react like I'm giving grace to everybody. They're not in their right mind. Also, they're starving. And so what's the other alternative that they watch? What's the other alternative? There's no fish, right? They had this major moose, but then that wouldn't have lasted more than probably a week or so. They have nothing else to eat. And I remember there was an episode where they were kind of walking through the wilderness, and they were like looking at plants. They were like looking at plant shrub. And I think like Misty was pointing out, okay, no, that's poisonous. Like, don't do that. And I don't know if I'm gonna release the video before episode 9 or after episode 9. When I heard this story, when I saw the premise of the show, and as I was watching the show play out, when I started to watch the show, I remember a real life headline story where there was a plane crash in 1972 in the Andes mountain, and the same thing, like no one was coming for them. It was kind of eerily similar. I think that if we were to interview the writers, they would say that they were inspired by this real life story, the plane crash in 1972 in the Andes mountain, and there are very similar things that happened. It was a private plane, same thing with Yellowjackets. It was a rugby team. With Yellowjackets, it's a soccer team. They crash. No one was looking for them. In the real life scenario, in the real life story, 2 planes went by and they didn't see them. Right? It was a male rugby team in 1972, and they were, I think, teenagers and 20-year-olds too, right? And these are teenagers here. I think that Yellowjackets was inspired by that Andes crash story, because it's rugby team, soccer team, teenagers, cannibalism. The teenagers in that, they only had like a small piece of chocolate after the plane crash. Some people died, and they had a lot of dead bodies around them, and they put them to a certain section of the plane days, and they were stranded for 72 days. And in Yellowjackets, they're stranded for 19 months, a year and a half, right? It took, I forgot how much time had passed in the real life story, where one of them said, listen, I'm going to eat the pilot. They were starving, they had nothing. And by the way, they don't have fire, they had to eat them raw. So all the people that were already dead, the first person they ate for nourishment, for protein, for whatever you call it, to sustain themselves, was the pilot. And funny, in the same thing too, in Yellowjackets, the pilots were the one that died too. So the pilots didn't survive. So there are lots of similarities with the Andes crash and thing there, and the Yellowjackets. And the whole notion of eating somebody, it doesn't come. And then when they were eventually rescued 72 days later, they were interviewed by the press, and the press asked them, how long you were out there for that long? How did you survive? What did you eat? And one of them said, it's because it's awkward to say these things, right? One of them said, I'm not going to talk about that, because then the rest of the world, when the story was unraveling, the rest of the world realized all the horror of what they had to do. They ate people. Yes, it's horrific. It still is a horrific thing to just think about, but it was required. It was necessary to survive. And in the same way it was necessary, there's like birds chirping outside now because I'm reacting to this 4 o'clock in the morning. It was necessary for them to survive, and it's necessary for them to survive in the Andes crash in real life in 1972, and it's necessary for them to survive in this fictional world after this crash. Same thing. So I might do a whole video. It's not going to be a long video, but I might do a video on that, showing the comparison between. I can't go on Twitter right now or even Tumblr because I'm going to be spoiled, so I need to react to this episode. So just in case you hear any chirpy, it's birds chirping, right? The plane crash in the Andes, those people had to eat the flesh raw, but they survived. And a lot of those men that were on the plane, I forgot when the interview was done, but they all had lives and lived their lives and had families and all these things after that. So I need to remind people though, even though like I'm weirded out because it's not an easy thing to see on screen, but I think I need to remind people that this is necessary. I mean, this is just, the hunt is just added drama because we're watching a television show that requires drama and high stakes and intensity. So that's why we're getting the hunt. Otherwise, they would have just played patty cakes and then whoever, you know what I'm saying, sacrifice themselves. Oh, another thing too, the person that's directing, the woman that's directing this episode is a one that she directed Jennifer's Body, that movie. So yeah, this is going to be a very trippy episode. I don't think I'm prepared. Anyways, so Misty is filling in and filling in Lottie, and Lottie's just like taken aback. Oh, Lottie did not suggest the drawing of the cards. That's what they all decided. But once again, Lottie is not the giver, is not the know all, end all, be all, right? She's kind of out of commission right now because she's beaten up, so they made their own decisions. And she's just telling her what was previously on Yellowjacket. She's telling her Misty is telling Lottie previously on Yellowjackets. Natalie drew the queen card. Wait. And I want to say this again. As much as I'm going to be squirming and watching this show and squirming, I just also need to remind people, as you're watching this show, they're not in their right minds. Delirium has set in. These are teenagers. It's been months. They're starving. Delirium. So I need to people that are just being on their high morality horse that I've seen online. Yes, let's judge case by case, but like, remind yourself what you're watching. Okay? Just do that. You started this. Lottie is like, and then Misty's like, Lottie, you started this. It's done. And it's going to save all of our lives. I mean, it's already done. Also, guys, half of them are going to die. So, what's interesting? This show is even more trippy when you think about how they were as teenagers, right? Their innocence is gone at this point, right? And they're out there for a year, not even just like 6 months, a year and 7 months. That is, and they get to the point where they've gone beyond the point of no return, where they're haunting each other. Once again, teenagers, right? They didn't ask for this, but this is where they are. They're not all suicidal and killing themselves because we're in the wilderness and we're stranded. They're trying to survive, right? It's very trippy because when you remember how the pilot started of the pit girl running and being hunted, basically. They became these type of survivalists. Hunting other people, killing them, eating them. Cannibalists, right? And then when they finally get rescued, think about the fact that they had to then come back down to earth and go back into civilization. That is something that is very interesting that I'm wondering if the writers are going to do, like probably season 3, season 4, is that how do you write those characters? They move from having the innocence taken from them, they're in the wilderness, they've all lost it basically, and then they have to come back to civilization. Versus in the real life scenario that happened, it was 72 days. In this show, 19 months. And they completely transformed as people. All of them transformed as people. So it's just, I find it very interesting as to how, I'm just so curious about how that transition is going to happen. Because they transition from becoming innocent teenagers to becoming cannibals. And then they had to transition back from being cannibals to becoming innocent teenagers again. You know what I'm saying? That is interesting. That type of story is wild. That's the pipeline. That's the transition. It's wild. Ooh, how does Natalie come back to the cabin is my question. What does Misty come back downstairs? Oh, Misty is relaying information from Lottie, and she's lying to them. Everybody, you know what's interesting? Even though they did the hunt, they're not happy about it. Oh, and Shauna is the butcher. See, everybody has a role. And I know some people have been like, oh, how could they? What do you mean, how could they? Let's see how you last when you are stranded in the wilderness for 19 months and there's no food around. Let's see what your decisions are. It baffles me that some people online have been pulling on their morality when they watch the show. What? And it's funny, and then the same thing in the real life story, the Andes crash in 1972, when the rest of the media found out, and the rest of the world found out what they had to do to survive, they had to eat the dead. They were getting judged, and one of them interviewed how many years later said, you would do the same thing. That was the only way to survive. Are you forgetting what you're watching? Teenagers stranded in the woods have lost their innocence, are trying to survive. What are you expecting them to do? Okay. So now Shauna is the butcher. She's the one that, she is very handy with the knife. She knows how to cut and this and that and that and that and that. All of them look drained. All of them don't look, yay, high five, Harvey's dead. If you look at all of them in this cabin, they all look dazed and confused. Sad. And even when Missy comes down and says, she lies to them and says, Lottie says, yeah, Harvey's gonna save us, blah, 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 black sheep. They all don't even look like happy, like relieved when she said that, even though she's lying to them. They know they have to do this, but they're not happy about it. Travis turns around and he's still holding on to Harvey's body. And he says, I'm sorry, as he lays. We see? Even this is Travis's brother, and even though he's sad that his brother is dead, he turns around and sees Shauna with the knife, and he knows this has to happen. He knows. He lays down Harvey's body and he says, I'm sorry, and he walks away. But they have to do it because they're starving. They will be dead. And they're taking off his clothes, and oh my god, this show. How do you? They have to do it. It's like when you're a kid and your parents tell you have to eat a vegetable. You're not happy about it. This is a weird analogy, but I can't think of anything else right now. You're not happy about it. Shauna's hand is shaking. How do you? Is one thing when they were like learning how to use the gun to hunt, the learning curve of learning how to use the knife, the learning curve of learning how to use the gun. How do you go from? It's amazing. Y'all, I'm on the verge of tears, but I'm trying to compose myself. Because when I think about just the mentality of you being regular teenagers and getting to this stage of your life where it's inevitable, you have no other choice. You all will die in the wilderness if you don't eat something. The stage of them going through that is just... How the F do you get used to that? Shauna covers her eyes. How do you? Shauna is like using her hands to trace Harvey's body to get to the neck, because you have to drain the blood, right? You have to drain the blood from the body. Oh my god. The point of no return. This is so trippy. Okay, Shauna is tracing the body. She's doing it blindfolded, by the way. This is the point of no return, though. Oh, you just heard the squish sound on my headphones of the blood. Van says she doesn't really like the plan. Oh, would it help you? Okay. Handle water cells. What do you want to protect each other? Van says to Ty. Right. So Van says she's not sick, this is who she is, like, and appealing to Ty because Ty has similar things happening in her head. That would you want to be committed to insane asylum as well? Nat is burning the queen card. This is wild. Oh, Nat is telling Lisa something's happening tonight and you need to leave while you still can because something's happening tonight. I appreciate you trying to teach me forgiveness, Nat says to Lisa. It's a nice idea. Forgiveness is a nice idea, she says to her. Nothing can prepare you for what this show is. It really can't. Oh, Ben is coming back now? Wait, yeah, Ben, run in the opposite direction, Ben. Don't you dare judge them, Ben. Don't you judge them, Ben. Okay, the thing with Ben is once again, Ben. Once again, the tree of life doesn't occur in the wilderness in real life. It doesn't. So let's say the tree of life didn't exist. What would Ben be doing right now? Ben is literally judging them, and it's ridiculous. Ben, you're judging them. Ben says to Natalie, you're not like them. So hold on, Ben. You see? I was rooting for you in episode 7, thinking you're gonna die. Now I can't root for you because you're judging them. Why are you judging them? What? Ben says to Natalie, I figured out where Javi was hiding. You and me, we can stay there and survive the winter. And I'm thinking to myself, so Ben, you don't want the rest of them to... I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Ben is really judging them right now, dude. Are you serious right now, dude? The tree of life that he found is just a saving grace for the show as far as storytelling. In the wilderness, there's no freaking tree of life. So let's say it doesn't exist. What would Ben be doing right now? He would be dying. He would be dead. He would be dead. He would be dead. So the fact that he's judging them is pissing me off. I'm no longer a fan of Ben. No longer a fan of Ben. Right. Okay, so now Travis and Van are talking. I think people are gonna have debates about this. And that's what makes a good TV show. People are gonna have debates about this. Right? I need people that are judging these characters, heavily judging them, to tell me that when you are stranded in the woods for 19 months and there's no food around, what is the next option? And you're not going to kill yourself. What's the next option? Tell me. I need people to be freaking serious right now. Be for real. So Travis says you should be ashamed. And let me just rewind this scene with Travis and Van. You should be ashamed, Travis says. And then Van says, I'm not. Well, I'm not. I'm not ashamed, Travis, Van says. I'm glad I'm alive. Yeah, that's the truth here. Just like you are. And no one else that's still here should feel ashamed of that ever. Otherwise, all of them would have died of starvation. Van says, let your brother save you, Travis. But the way that the actor that plays Jeff, plays being frantic is just so funny. Feed about a what? Feed about a hot water? I'm Walter introducing himself to Jeff. Did you just call him? You just called Jeff by his full name, Jeffrey. Can you do that for me, Jeffrey? Grab his legs. No longer a fan of Ben. No longer a fan of Ben. Okay. Alright, so Shauna comes in with... It's amazing how she is the butcher, so she... Is that a lung? What's that? That's a lung pieces. They have protein. This show is stressing me out. So it took the whole day for because now nighttime now. It took the whole day for Shauna to cut up. And this is why they would never tell any press what they did. Nobody's gonna tell any press what they did. Okay, so Shauna hands, is it the heart? Shauna hands half his heart to Travis. The show. Oh, he's eating it. Oh God, he's crying as he's eating the heart. Oh, he's putting it in the pot, in the frying pot. Misty comes up the stairs and hands Lottie. Is Lottie gonna eat it? I don't think that Lottie is the animal queen at this point now. No funny. The image of what's in the dish looks like steak. It looks like steak. Shauna is really handy with the knife. Also, more of them are gonna die. So when we get to that stage, Alright, so Lottie's actually eating it. Okay. Cause my thing is, y'all are not gonna really kill somebody. You're not gonna really hunt in 2021. You're gonna hunt in 2021. That don't make sense. I'm so stressed. This show is stressing me out. Jesus. They're all surrounding this bonfire. Oh no. It's time, yes, Lottie says. And she's shuffling, Lottie. They're buying time. Shauna says I'd like to shuffle them some more. Okay, so Van pulls the first card, pulls a 5 of spades. What's that? I can't say that. And she burns it. Thaisa, are you refusing to draw? Because you know what happens if you do. 8 of what's the 8 of diamonds? I'm so nervous. What is Misty? Ace. Shauna, it's up to you. You can submit or you can run. Oh my God. Wait. Shauna drew the Queen of Hearts. Everybody turns around and puts on a mask. And Lottie says to her, you can submit or you can run. Shauna, are you running? Is that your choice? You run, Shauna, run. Okay, no, for real. They're really chasing... I'm befuddled. They're really chasing Shauna. Callie just shot Lottie in the shoulder. In the 97 timeline, Nat was the one that pulled it, and then Harvey intervened and died. Now we have in the 2021 timeline, Shauna pulled it, and Callie is intervening. Is she gonna die? This is stressing me out. It's here. Lottie says it's here. It's with us now. So Ty says, because Sean is like, when is the SAG team coming? Ty says they're not coming because they called it off. It was Van's idea. And then Van said, listen, she's like this because of us. Like, as if like to submit to what the wilderness is asking, basically, is what Van is saying. I'm getting antsy that we have Callie here and Callie intervene, and I feel like Callie might die. I thought it was Natalie first, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. But these stories don't mean anything when you got no one to tell them to. It's true. Okay, I don't know. That song is coming to me right now as Van is telling the story of the wilderness. The whole point of storytelling is escapism, right? You're not escaping. Okay, and as she's telling the story, what's his name? Coach Ben is trying to get a rope. He's outside trying to get an axe. It shows me because I was the only one who knew how to listen. Lottie says, I can't hear it anymore. Lottie says, you chose, so that's why, for like a good amount of time, we thought that Lottie was the Anna Queen because she was the only one that was in tuned, right? And so she's saying, it doesn't need you anymore. You all learn how to hear it, to feel it. Lottie says, the wilderness chose who fed us. Lottie in the beginning, remember now, woo-woo-woos, hand-holding, listening to the trees. They still had their innocence. No, we're not in Kansas anymore. Things had to shift. Natalie is the leader? Wait. Oh, that's a twist. Natalie's the leader? Oh, Lisa shows up now with a gun, with a rifle. We tried to kill you, and it wouldn't let us. Oh, God, narrative is important, you know. Narrative is important. So Lottie's passing on the mantle. What's the phrase? She kissed the ring, kissed the hand. Natalie, Coach Ben looks so stunned. I can only imagine if this was a book. I would not put this down. This is insane. But, you know, it's so good. So Natalie is the new leader. Ha 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 ha. They all are kissing her. Everybody's going up to Natalie and kissing her hand. Oh my God. Everybody's bowing to her. Natalie laughs for a bit as Misty is like doing like a curtsy. She laughs for a bit. This is stressing me out. This show is stressing me out. Travis gets up. He puts her hand to his chest. I mean, listen, Natalie's a hunter, right? So she has skill sets that you could so use this as an analogy as to how society works. Because this is a microcosm of society, right? And the narrative that they have for each other is almost like a representation of society, with religion, with institutions, with leaders. So I think there's a way to like really analyze. There's a way to really analyze how they're operating as a group. Group theory. Oh, group theory. Okay, yes. Group theory. I think I studied this in psychology. Okay, all right, make a note. Group theory is something, and there's some sort of psychology. There's some psychology here, but I need to find it and make a note of it. There's something, the way that they're operating is so. There's a psychology theory to explain this, and I'm gonna find it. But the way they're operating is very that. I'd studied briefly psychology. I had like a college course, a university course in psychology, and I think I remember studying something about group theory. And one of the tenets of group theory, right? One of that is social cohesiveness, and social cohesion is defined. Social cohesion is defined as the willingness of members of a society to cooperate with each other to survive and prosper. That definition of social cohesion, there's some psychology term here that explains that explains it. So we already have one dead person, Kevin. Nobody else needs to die. What's happening? This is Misty. What Misty is having behind her back? Misty's holding on to something. She's about to. Okay, and Lisa has them at gunpoint. She's defending her leader. Ma. Oh no. Misty is I feel like I don't even. This is stressing me out. Have it paused on Misty is about to charge at I'm forgetting names. I have it paused. Misty's about to charge at Lisa. Like she has like a I don't know what she have in her hand. And Natalie sees her, and then it quickly cuts back to the Wilderness 97 timeline where Natalie draws the Queen card. So is Mr. intervening, or is Lisa intervening, or is I think Lisa is intervening. Oh my, I don't think I'm I'm not ready. It's Nat, isn't it? It's Nat, isn't it? My prediction was correct. Miss is charging at Lisa, and Nat sees it, and Nat is gonna intervene. It's not. I knew it. It was gonna be Juliet. I knew it, you know. Natalie intervenes, and Missy stabs Nat instead. Oh no! I noticed, like in other interviews too, I noticed I haven't seen Juliet when most of the adults were there. Juliet wasn't there. And there's a funny thing. I forgot what. Like they had like a press junket. I think that's what they call it, where different media come in and they interview them with the same backdrop in the same room. There's a funny video that went around where one of them was like, "What's your thoughts on cannibalism?" And then they would cut to every cast member and they're like trying not to answer the question. It's a funny video, and I realized I didn't see Juliet in that video as well. So I'm not that shocked, because I did say that if anybody, it might be Nat. Nat is actually gonna die. The Hunt, as crazy as it is, it's applicable to 1997 in the wilderness. When Lottie started to speak about what Lottie was telling them, is that sustainable? You're going to just keep killing each other? Is that what you're going to do? Is that what we're doing? That to me is not sustainable in the present timeline. It's not a call, is what I think. And Nat is slowly fading away. As she's hearing their voices, she's slowly dying. That's what's happening. She's in the plane. Oh, nah, look at her. Oh, no. I'm still sad about it. Oh, don't do this. Oh, I'm crying. Nat is in the plane. There's like turbulence happening. Why are the seats blue? Is there a reason why the color scheme is blue? And she's slowly dying. Adult Nat turns to this as she hears there's nothing to be afraid of. Javi is to her right. There's nothing to be afraid of. Is she gonna see Travis to her left? I'm not supposed to be here. Oh, I was expecting to see Travis to her left. Her younger self, Teen Nat, is to the left of her. I thought it was going to be Travis. Teen Nat is to the left of her. We both know that's not true. This is exactly where we belong. We've been here for years. Oh, I'm still sad about it. I killed my best friend. I can't stop crying. Wow. This is going to be a long reaction as well, because it's the finale. A lot happened. A lot of emotions. The writers are currently striking, right? Can you pay your writers, please? Pay your writers. It's so baffling to me that these networks, that these platforms are making billions of dollars and can't pay them writers. Anyways, but the last that I saw, because the writer's strike is happening right now, the writers of Yellowjackets season 3, they had just started writing season 3, and they were very excited. The last post that I saw in relation to the writers for Yellowjackets is that they had just started writing for season 3, and then they put that on pause to honor the writer's strike. But they were saying that they were excited, like they have all these ideas and da-da-da-da-da. And we know that Melanie said in an interview that before she signed on to play Shauna, before she signed on to this role, she wanted to make sure that she knew that the writers had a plan, that they weren't just writing aimlessly. Because shows like this, after season 2, by the third season, it goes downhill. The writers don't know where they're going. They're just writing aimlessly. So that's what I'm working off of. What Melanie said, that she's only signed on to do the show because she had confidence in what the writers told her about their plans for the next 5 seasons. They have a plan. So now, of the core 6, we lost 1. Are we going to lose another one? Is Van going to actually die? She has cancer. Months to live. I haven't forgotten about that. Right? As a person that relates to Van on every level, shape and form, every way, shape and form. In every way, shape and form. And I had explained what connects me to Van, and on how Van and I share similarities in our life. I had explained that in my reaction to episode 7. You can watch that video. Are they going to kill another one? So the core 6 become the core 5, then become the core 4? Is that what's going to happen? I hope not. Thaisa said they're going to take you for a little while and then we're going to come get you. We gave it what it wanted and it's pleased with us, Lottie says. You'll see. Van looks horrified. It's just, I don't... How could it not have been me? Oh, this is Shauna writing. Jackie who made me feel invincible, but... Oh, that's Shauna writing her diary. What? I totally forgot about this, bitch. Yes. So Shauna is... Okay, we're back in the 97 timeline. How are we going to end this season? The cast was doing interviews and it was looked to be in the cabin, right? But I noticed in the background of that cabin, the cabin looked broken apart. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's just like an aesthetic thing, but why would you break apart a cabin? Just have the actors in the cabin being interviewed, or have them outside the cabin being interviewed. And I was like, hold on, why does the cabin look broken apart? I see trees growing over it. It just looks, the cabin is going to be destroyed, isn't it? And I had pointed it out in a video, and I'm like, oh, people didn't notice it. They had the cast being interviewed talking about season 2. And I had noticed in the background, when we're introduced to Lauren as Van, and that interview was happening, and Tanya was talking, who else was talking? Lauren was talking. And in the background, it was obviously the cabin, so you saw the wood structure, like pieces of the wood structure. And then you had like trees, you had like grass growing over it, and like a building was destroyed. And you have the shrub and the greenery growing over it. That can be just for aesthetic purposes. You have them sitting in front of the cabin just being interviewed. And here it is. Because I'm like, how are we going to end? The cabin is burning down. God, they just have candles. I'm also thinking, why would you spoil that? I guess many people weren't noticing it. But the cabin is burning down. Wait. If this is Ben... There's a fire that's happening outside. All the other fire was inside. If this is Ben that started the fire, me and Ben, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? This is Ben, isn't it? This has Ben written all over it. If this is what Ben is doing, he has a little hideout, right? In the cave. Fuck Ben. How about that? This is Ben. This has Ben written all over it. So what Ben decided to do, this piece of shit, and I was rooting for you by episode 7, what Ben decided to do is to make them, so they're going to still hunt. You know that, right? Does Ben think that doing this has Ben written all over it? You can't tell me nothing. And I'm going to speak in my Jamaican accent. You can't tell me nothing. This has Ben written all over it. But what does Ben think he's doing when he does this? I'm cursing. F you, Ben. F you. How about that? I already posted my reaction to episode 7 and I was rooting for Ben. I didn't want him to die, right? Missy saved his leg, saved his life. Missy saved his life twice. I regret even supporting him. And I did say, I'm giving grace to everybody, but not this one. I'm not giving grace to Ben. Because F him, he's judging them. They're starving. He's the only one that found the tree of life. F Ben. And this will be revenge. He's now the villain. F Ben. I'm so pissed that I supported him. I'm so pissed right now. They're breaking the doors. This is how you have a finale, bitch. Yes, they're gonna be hunting even more, y'all. And I what episode was I reacting to? Episode 8. Season 1, episode 8. I have that reaction posted. I remember when the scene came back from after Van's wolf attack, and the next scene was the above shot of the cabin. I remember saying they lucked out when they found the cabin. Otherwise, they would have to create their own shelter. At this point, they can create their own shelter. To be honest, they didn't need the cabin. To me, they've now proven themselves. Shauna the butcher, Natalie the hunter, right? And everybody on their skill sets, right? Mari the cook. I'm actually looking forward to them creating their own shelter. No, the cabin is burning down because of Ben. How fire starts. Fire starter. In the real life story of the plane crash in 1972, where the survivors had to eat the remains of the dead, right? The media was judging them when they got saved. The media was judging them for their actions. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You're judging me for surviving? You're judging me for being alive right now? That's what you're judging me for? Same thing that Van said to Travis. I'm alive. This is how you have a finale, bitch. The cabin is burning down. Okay, this is going to make you better. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then the core cast is 9 people. Plus Ben, I don't give 2 craps about Ben. It's 9 of them. No, I had said that in episode 7 when I was counting, the extras are not in this. It's interesting. When I was counting the remaining survivors in episode 2 or 3, season 1, I had counted 17 or 18 people, right? And so we lost 2 people. 3. No, sorry, we lost Javi, we lost Laura Lee, we lost Jackie, right? 3 people. So that's 15. Roughly 15 people. The fact that the camera has 9 people standing right now, I guess you're supposed to just suspend belief right now. Because no, going into season 3, how do they create their next shelter? And I'm very intrigued and interested to see how they do that. I'm looking forward to that. I think you know what they should do? Ooh, I know what they should do. They should create a shelter near the water. The shot when the plane was taking off, R.I.P. Laura Lee, which I don't think, part of me feels that Laura Lee's not dead. I feel like by the time she jumped out the plane, it exploded and she just fell in the water and she probably hit her head and she washed up on the shore and she's somewhere else. Because we didn't see, we saw the plane explode, but, and they were all looking at the plane, so they could have probably seen if she jumped out of the plane, but I don't know. Their next, you know what I think about when I think of this show? You know those video games where you have to build a city? Those type of video games where you have to build a civilization, right? In different, like the Stone Age or the Bronze Age. I forgot the name of those games. I used to be obsessed with those games, those internet games where you build, you're building a society, right? But not present day setting, but like in a Stone Age, in a Bronze Age, and you had to build and start from scratch, have agriculture, and build a community, and then have all these things. If you know those games, you know those games, right? I'm so intrigued by Yellowjackets and where they can go for season 3 because right now they can do that. They can have a different shelter. They can have a different shelter, a different location for their shelter, and it can be near the water. Let them build a shelter near the water. I'm intrigued to see what they do with their next shelter. I'm very intrigued by that. Like I said, I love games that do that. The Bronze Age, the Stone Age, where you have to build societies and from the ground up, from agriculture to Homo sapiens did it. The Homo sapiens did it, right? From nothing. I think the Yellowjackets can do the same thing. So it's a good thing that the place is burning down. So F Ben all day long, but we're giving them an opportunity to now create a different shelter. We're giving them an opportunity to create their own shelter and have it be near the water. There's like a really amazing shot of when the plane was taking off, and I had seen, I'm gonna put up the screenshots. They can build their own shelter. So Taiwan shippers, we did not lose them. We did not have them break up. We thought that they were breaking up. They were just disheartened because Javi was gonna get cut up, and they're not happy about it, but they have to do what they have to do. That's why they look the way they looked. But listen, I have material now for this Taiwan fan vid that I'm gonna create. And because I thought that they were gonna break up, I had to change it, but then they're not breaking up, so I can go back to what I was gonna do before. Change up the scenery. For season 3, a different scenery. For season 3, a different scenery. Let them build their own shelter. My throat is going. Let them build their own shelter, but near the water this time. They can do it. Homo sapiens did it. From nothing. So something obviously like this, the cabin burns down. Their situation gets more extreme. Once again, a product of their environment. This is what their environment is doing, and their behavior is gonna get more extreme. But up to the moment, obviously things had to get more extreme because in the pilot episode, we saw them actively hunting Pit Girl. Their conditions are gonna get more extreme. I'm more excited about that for season 3. How are they gonna build their next shelter? That's my biggest, like, I'm very into that type of stuff. And I had to stop playing that game, that internet game, because I was so addicted to it. Like building a civilization, the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Stone Age, the Stone Age and the Bronze Age. If I can remember, I forgot what the name of the game was, but I was so addicted to that game because I like to see building something from scratch. Not Farmville, but I'm talking like specifically the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, those type of games where you're building society from scratch. I'm into that type of stuff. I had to stop for my own mental health because I was getting too obsessed with it. But I'm very intrigued to see what they do in season 3 in building their own shelter. I'm very intrigued by that. Hopefully it's near the water. Hopefully it's near the lake. Go, 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 go. I'm rewinding the scene. As Thaisa is breaking through the door with the axe. Yo, I love this show. Who was that person that got burned? Who's that person? Is that Mari? Tyvan, come on now, Tyvan. I thought they were going to break up. Look at me. Look at us. You're going to be better after this. Yep. You're going to be better after this, y'all. Look at their eyes. Y'all are going to be fine. Oh, wow. It's an inferno. They're crying. Look at their faces. Oh, my God. Look at their faces. Oh my God, all of these close-ups of their faces, the tears in their eyes. It doesn't matter. Y'all have proven yourself that you have acclimated to the wilderness. You can survive in the wilderness without a cabin. Build your own cabin. Build your own shelter. I'm actually weirdly excited for them to build their own shelter in season 3. Figure it out. Right? You have wood all around you. You have, hopefully they all grab axes. I know that Ben took rope and an axe with him. Grab the axe, cut down some trees, build something. Y'all, don't be sad. Burn like an inferno. Burn. And that makes sense why in the pilot episode when they're hunting Pit Girl, that they look like experienced hunters, basically, because they had to. The environment and the situation is just gonna keep breaking them down, and building them up. To be honest, breaking them down, y'all. I have no worries. Y'all don't worry. Oh, is that how close? Oh, the camera is panning out right now, and we see the. You know what they could do? They could go back to the plane and use parts of the plane. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? Oh, this is so weird. R.I.P. Adult Nat. But you know what is 97 timeline? You know what? I just had moments of like, wait a minute. Have you all watched Water Worlds? Just shows like that where civilization or Mad Max. Oh, perfect. Oh, yes. Mad Max, Waterworld, those type of shows where the aesthetic of those shows is not where the aesthetic of those shows is roughing it, basically. I don't know how else to explain it. The elements, roughing it based on the elements that you're in. They have to go back to the plane because what it is it's still winter, so they need to have shelter, roof over their head, right? So you can just go back to the plane. So they have 3 options. Go back to the plane and stay in the plane. Create a new shelter from the woods around you, the trees around you, or take parts of the plane. I'm selfishly saying that because I want them to be living near to the lake. So do that. 3 options. Don't worry. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Don't cry. All of them are crying. This is gonna make you stronger, and it did. Go back to the pilot episode. They look like established seasoned hunters. Teenagers. Woo! Okay. right, that was episode 9. I thought Taiwan was breaking up. They're not. I have more material now for my video that I want to create, my fan vid. Harvey, R.I.P. Harvey. The cabin, F. Ben and his judgment. The cabin had to burn down because it had to make them even get to create a, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It had to make them better in the woods. I don't know how else to say that. In my mind, I'm going back to when Homo sapiens were creating shelter from the beginning, right? In the beginning. That's what I'm thinking of. And they can do some very interesting things in season 3. Them figuring out their shelter. And I'm so intrigued. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm actually looking forward to that. Yeah, I could talk at length about this. I'm gonna stop now. But yes, of the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, those type of games, and mixed with Water Worlds, mixed with Mad Max. Those are the vibe that I'm getting when I'm watching the show, going into season 3. So that was season 2. Like, comment, and subscribe. So much things to say. I'm just looking forward to season 3. Hopefully the writer's strike doesn't. Hopefully the writers get what they deserve. I don't know why it's just so ridiculous. Pay the writers. Season 2 finale, episode 9. Wow. Like, comment, and subscribe. I think I want to still release that video doing a comparison between the real life event of the plane crash that happened in 1972 with the rugby team, and the similarities between that and the cannibalism happened in that as well, and the similarity between that and Yellowjackets story. I feel like the writers of Yellowjackets got inspired by the real life story. So I'm gonna still release that video. I'm gonna post it probably after this episode or before, I'm not sure. So look out for that. And I am currently reacting to a reality show called The Ultimatum, Queer Love, if you're into that. And if there's anything else that comes across my timeline that looks interesting to me, I'll react to that. But for right now, this was Yellowjackets. Pay the writers. I don't know how else much more I can say that. AI can't write this script. Heads of studios cannot write these scripts. Writers have the vision. Writers know what they're doing. Pay the writers. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next reaction. Peace.